Hey CEO, what if scaling your business didn't require more hustle, more late nights, or even more hours in your day? Because here's the truth. The women who finally break past six and seven figures don't get there by working harder. They get there by experiencing time in a whole new way. I get it. Right now, maybe you're feeling constantly interrupted, stuck in the weeds of your business, or like your team is draining more time than it's giving back. And at the end of the week, you're left wondering, where did all my time go? But friend, it doesn't have to stay that way. Imagine stepping into a dimension of time where every hour you steward multiplies your impact, your team actually frees you up, and you know exactly what to do to focus on finishing this year strong. Girl, that's what I call a CEO time warp. And today, I'm going to show you how to step into it. Hey, CEO, welcome back to the Redeem Her Time podcast. Are you ready to finally scale your business in a way that multiplies results without multiplying hours? Most women I work with tell me, Lissa, I feel like I'm always working. My days are full of interruptions. My team drains more time than it gives back. And even after working hard all week long, I wonder where all my time went. If that sounds familiar, you're not alone. The truth is, only 14% of women owned businesses ever hit six figures, and just 4% reach seven figures. Not because they don't have what it takes, but because business as usual keeps them stuck in what I call busyness owner time. And here's the thing, you will never scale to your next six figures until you experience a radical shift in how you experience time. That's why I'm inviting you into the CEO Time Warp, happening August 26, 27, and 28. This isn't another workshop or challenge. It's a 3-day experience that's going to shift you out of busyness and into CEO time scaling so you can scale your reach and revenue while actually scaling back your hours. So, if you want to join me, head right now before you get distracted to redeemhertime.com/warp to grab your spot because this is not going to be business as usual. So let's talk about what most business owners I talk with at any level of business are feeling these days. And maybe you are too. Maybe you're thinking, if I want to grow, I have to work harder and longer. I start the day with a plan, but it always gets hijacked. My business spills into every corner of my life, and I can't turn it off. Honestly, it feels easier to just do it myself. I know I should be focusing on CEO work, but the day to day keeps pulling me back in. Do any or all of those sound familiar? Those thoughts are what keep you in busyness owner time. And that is exactly why you need to experience a time warp. So you might be wondering, Lissa, what is a time warp? And what does it have to do with my business? Girl, I'm so glad you asked. Because in your business, a time warp isn't science fiction, it's very real. You see, a time warp is a God designed disruption of how you currently experience time, shifting you out of busyness and into intentional stewardship. So that way, you can multiply the impact of every hour without adding more hours. Instead of feeling like you don't have enough time, you invest the CEO time you already have. Instead of your team being a drain, you multiply time and profit through systems and delegation. And instead of chasing shiny new strategies, you focus on the one that will bring the greatest ROTI, return on time invested. This is about stepping into a whole new dimension of experiencing time. Because my family loves both C.S. Lewis and Marvel, I think of it like stepping through the wardrobe into Narnia or through a portal with the Avengers. Something happens when ordinary people step out of their everyday reality and into a world where time works differently. And that shift changes not just their experience, but their outcome. And that's exactly the shift waiting for you. So let's talk about busyness owner time versus CEO scaling time and what that shift looks like in real life and business. Are you ready? Busyness owner time, aka the old way, she thinks she's scaling and she thinks that means that it means more hustle. But time feels scarce, scattered, and sacrificed. She operates by the formula more hours equals more growth, believing that scaling will require longer days. She's always interrupted. She can't get through a day without constant distractions, and she has a hard time saying no. She has no boundaries, and business bleeds into every corner of life. Her team is an expense. She spends more time babysitting instead of being freed up. And she finds she's stuck in the weeds because she's busy putting out fires instead of leading growth. All of this results in time being spent, but not multiplied. And she ends the week wondering where her time went. all along believing if I just do more, maybe I can finally get ahead. Can you relate? But here's the shift. CEO time, aka time scaling the new way, is where you scale time with stewarded time. You multiply impact without multiplying hours. This woman leverages the formula, fewer hours equals greater impact, because those CE hours are protected of her best time for growth. She's got time that's focused and flowing because it's anchored in priorities, not drifting from one interruption to the next. She has clear boundaries, rest and refills first, so that way she pours out from overflow and always knows what it's time for. Her team is a multiplier because she's got systems that equip them to do their own tasks and free up her time. And of course, she's leading with vision because her time and energy is invested where it's going to create the highest ROTI. What's the result? Her time is multiplied, not just spent. And she ends the week knowing and seeing that her time produced lasting fruit. All because she believes when I steward my hours, God multiplies my impact. Do you see how when it's business as usual, aka busyness owner time, why only a small percentage of women entrepreneurs ever scale past six figures? You see, busyness owners try to find time, but CEOs set time and protect it. Busyness owners are stuck in interruptions and distractions, but CEOs operate with boundaries and clarity. Busyness owners see their team as a time drain, but CEOs turn their team into a time multiplier. And again, you will never scale to your next six figures until you've experienced this kind of radical shift in how you experience time. And here's the thing, it's not just about making the shift from an old way to a new way. It's also about making the shift from the world's way to the kingdom way. Because as kingdom minded women, the way we approach time should look different than the way the world does. And our results should look far different too. Because we're building businesses with eternal impact, not just temporary success. Jesus described the shift when he talked about the anxiety of the world compared to how we are called to live as his disciples in Matthew 6, verses 31 through 33. He says, these things, aka all the more that they're worried about, dominate the thoughts of unbelievers. But your heavenly Father already knows all your needs. Seek the kingdom of God above all else and live righteously, and he will give you everything you need. You see, the world operates in busyness owner time, always chasing more hustle, more clients, more hours, and the result? More time spent without more results, and no more peace, might I add. But as a Christ empowered operator, a CEO operates in kingdom time, seeking him first, asking him where to invest her hours, and experiencing God's multiplication of the fruit of her faithfulness. And that, my friend, is exactly the shift that you're going to experience inside a CEO time warp. Now, what we're doing at the end of August isn't just another workshop where you take notes and then try to figure out how and when to implement. This is hands-on because each day we're going to workshop together a tool that you can start using immediately to scale your time. And these are tools that you won't find anywhere else. So here's what's waiting for you. Day one is work less with time scaling schedules. You see, most women come to me saying, Lissa, I've tried time blocking, but I still feel like I'm always working. I can't unplug, and if I want to scale, I probably need to put in more hours. But girl, that is a lie from the world's playbook. So on day one, I'm going to show you how to flip that script by setting business hour boundaries. Boundaries you can literally post starting today to protect both your work and your non-work time. These aren't about punching a clock. They're about investing focused time scaling hours that actually produce results in less time. And by the time you log off for that day, you'll have your hours set in a plan that 10x's your ROTI so you can finally breathe again. On day two, we're going to activate team with time scaling systems because we're going to shift gears to what is going on with those that are working for you or will be one day. Because I hear it all the time. My team is draining more time than they're giving back. I feel like I'm handholding, and even with help, I'm still the bottleneck. But girl, it doesn't have to be that way when you have a team. Together, we're going to create your very own SOP that you can hand right to your team called Hello to Let's Go. It's a system that tracks and follows up on leads that you can delegate without them just checking boxes anymore, but actually to become profit generating assets. Now, even if you don't have a team yet, this process and learning how to create systems is going to make the way you work so efficient, it'll feel like you've just gained a new team member. In fact, one of my clients saved 3 hours a day by setting up these systems, which freed her up to do the CEO work that only she could do. On day 3, we're going to reach goals with time scaling strategy because by then you'll be ready for the final piece, turning your vision into action. So many women tell me, Lisa, I feel stuck in the weeds. I'm putting out fires all day and never finishing the projects that would actually grow my business. That's why on day 3, you're going to build your one thing roadie growth map, a clear time scaling strategy that will identify the project that's going to move the needle most in your business before the end of the year. We're going to map out exactly how to hit that goal in less time and how to keep your whole team aligned and engaged without distraction or burnout. You're going to leave knowing exactly where to focus for the rest of the year so that you can finish strong and step into Q4 with clarity and confidence. And then on our bonus day, we're going to talk about how to profit more with time scaling roadie. You see, it's one thing to protect your CEO hours, activate your team with systems, and set a focused growth goal. But the real game changer is learning how to measure and multiply the fruitfulness of your time, not just your effort. That's where the roadie method comes in. Most business owners measure success by how many hours they put in. But as a Christ-empowered operator, we measure success by the return on time invested. So on this bonus day, I'm going to show you how to use the roadie method to evaluate your hours, not by what you did, but by what you produced. We're going to walk through how to identify high roadie activities, the ones that give you exponential fruit for the time you invest, how to spot time drains, even if they look productive on paper, and eliminate or delegate them, and how to use roadie as your filter for every new opportunity, strategy, or request that comes across your desk. And here's where it gets exciting, because when you steward time with roadie in mind, you unlock what I call the time scaling multiplier. Because when you give God your best hours and align them with the highest roadie actions, girl, he is going to multiply the results beyond what you could have done on your own. That's not just productivity. That is stewardship with kingdom purpose. So by the end of this time warp experience, you won't just have a new schedule, a team system, and a strategic growth map. You'll have a new filter, a way of making every time decision that ensures your business isn't just busier, but actually more fruitful and profitable. And this is the part, girl, you can't afford to miss, because it's the difference between adding more to your plate and finally multiplying the impact of every hour you steward. Because that's what scaling is all about, right? Greater results from less time. That way, you can invest that time in the other people and priorities that you're called to, including taking care of you. But here's the thing. You can't Google this. You won't find this kind of God-centered time scaling anywhere else, because this is not business as usual. This, my friend, is a CEO time warp, a radical kingdom design shift in how you experience time. Because busyness as usual won't get you where you want to go, at least not anytime soon. But a CEO time warp will. So don't wait. Your action step today is to go to redeemhertime.com/warp right now to grab your spot and to invite a business bestie or two to join you. Because a time warp is even better when you don't walk through it alone. And before you go, I want to give you a little sneak peek of what's coming next. Today, we talked about stepping into a time warp, shifting how you experience your hours so you can multiply your impact. And next time, we're going to talk about a concept you may have heard me mention today that's brand new. I call it time scaling. Because scaling isn't just about profit. It's about multiplying your business impact without multiplying your hours. And when you learn how to scale your time with God at the center, then everything changes. So be sure you're following the podcast because I have a feeling you don't want to miss this. And while you wait, want to start experiencing a CEO time warp with us now? Come join the after party over inside the Redeem Her Time community where we're already experiencing this together. Just head on over to redeemhertime.com/community or click the link in the show notes and we'll see you in the time warp.